This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so welcome to a quick overview of my leadership network. Now, I know most of you on here know me, but just to give some people a little bit of background who have asked me for the recording, people I don't know. My background has pretty much been in direct sales and network marketing since I was 17. I got in the business, struggled for a long, long time. Finally started to figure things out, started to succeed inside of companies. I've been a top recruiter. I'm absolutely not the best at this, but there's some things that I do know that I got good at. Recruiting was one of them. I was able to recruit over 500 people frontline. I've been able to build teams of over 5,000 people. I've been asked to speak from coast to coast and even all the way out to Hawaii. I actually was asked to speak inside of other countries, but for whatever reason, I couldn't get there, couldn't get the visa. One person asked me to speak in Winnipeg, Canada in February, and they said, no problem, we can just send a dog sled in case the taxi gets stuck. And I was like, if I have to go anywhere that requires snowmobiles or dog sleds in the snow, that's a no. Only because I like nicer weather, right? And I don't want to get lost and be that story that ends up making Discovery Channel or Netflix. Somebody got lost in the snow. With that being said, something came up about 5 years ago. In 2016, an idea hit me that there should be some information out there that's specific to direct sales, specific to network marketing. And I partnershiped with a phenomenal person, Bess McCarty. And she had a school online. And I took the information that I was building on my leadership network and I took it to that school, and we were able to help a lot of people. In fact, we were able to help people within 90 days hit their car payment. They were able to recruit people for the first time. They were able to gather customers for the first time. We had one person that moved up in 3 different companies simultaneously. Obviously, I don't recommend being in 20 different companies at once. Most people wouldn't recommend that. But the fact that what we did worked in so many different areas, it was great. Unfortunately, everybody decided to go different directions. So I was put in a position where I said, okay, what am I doing with this information? So I started coaching people individually. And that went, for about a year and a half. And then an idea hit me late at night. And I said, basically, if you want to go get certified, right? If you want to go get certified, you have to be certified to be a massage therapist. You have to be certified to be an esthetician. You have to be certified in HVAC. You have to be certified to be an electrician or a heavy crane operator or a welder. But I said to myself, I was like, where can I go get certified to be a recruiter? Where can I go get certified to be a team builder? And what I realized is when I went looking for it, it didn't exist. And I don't know if you've ever heard that saying that says, if you can find a need and fill it, there's an enormous amount of wealth to be made. So with that being said, I want to jump into this. The mission behind, the initial idea, and this was actually written in 2016, and it's exactly the same today, is to educate and equip and empower leaders. That's what we wanted to do. The vision was to create financially independent servant leaders. It's about making a lot of money and then turning around and helping a lot of other people. Our purpose to help people grow. And I don't care if you're involved in network marketing or coaching or traditional business. The idea behind the information that we were giving out is it would help you grow in every area of your life. The objective of basically my leadership network now is to help independent representatives in direct sales. I don't care what company, I don't care what's being sold, I don't care what the comp plan is. This will be helpful. The second target market is helping coaches and consultants and trainers. Now, here's something that one of the reasons for this creation is I had people who were coaches, people who were consultants, people who were trainers. They would come at me and say, hey, I'm a transformational coach, or I'm an executive coach, or I'm a life coach, and I really don't know how to teach or help people with this recruiting stuff. I'm like, well, that's unfortunate, because if you're trying to coach direct salespeople, recruiting is kind of one of the main things we do. You know, if you don't know how to help them recruiting and you don't know how to help them selling, then basically what you're doing is you're charging them money for stuff that's not helping them. So I realized that an enormous group of people in the coaching industry also wanted to know how to do this. So that's what it's put together for. So here's basically our 8-step process. We basically invest in education. I've been investing in education the minute since I got in the business, and it's self-education, right? Rather than traditional education, we're talking about self-education. We're talking about personal development. And I invested in events and seminars similar to this, only it was live because webinars didn't exist at that point. The second thing is we learned skills and strategies. It was amazing when I came out of events how I was able to apply things that people who had gone before me knew how to do, and I was able to pick up nugget after nugget. Now, again, the problem goes back to if you have to attend 100 meetings to learn the 100 lessons needed to be able to build your business, then how fast can you really go? That's why it took so many people so long to figure out how to do this, is you're only learning half a dozen, maybe 3 or 4 things out of every event you've ever been to, and you need practically 100 of those to take off. What if we could condense that? And that's why we created courses and events. I said, what if we could compact this information into a weekend certification? And that's what I found was the most effective immersion, you know, bringing people together and being able to pack it into a very short time frame where you could learn everything you needed to know all at once, rather than I get one nugget at this meeting and one nugget at that meeting. Can you imagine trying to teach somebody to be a welder like that? Here, hold this torch. Oh my gosh, you're going to need a helmet. You're going to need glass. I mean, it'd be awful. That's why they certify people ahead of time. Can you imagine estheticians or massage therapists? Here, just put pressure right here. Well, what do I do now? Well, come back next week and we'll show you where to put pressure next time. The next thing we do is we certify. So that's why we certify coaches and consultants and trainers. Who is that for? Well, the first person it's for is the person involved. It's for you. If you don't know how to do it, how are you teaching it to anybody else? Which I think is funny inside of direct sales and network marketing, because you get in, you get a new person who sponsors a new person who sponsors a new person, and the 3 or 4 of you are all looking at each other going, okay, well, what do we do now? I don't know what to do. You don't know what to do. Nobody knows what to do. So you literally have the blind leading the blind. That's why if we certify people, you'd have a heads up above everybody else in that organization. Next, we're going to equip through products and mentorship. The products we're going to produce, the courses, the events, you're going to be able to go take those events to the people. You're going to get mentorship of people who have gone through it already. You know, I have several people that I've worked with that have gone through many of the events that we put together, and now they know how to build, they know what to do, they know how to coach, they know how to teach. Then we basically are going to go out and coach. We're going to coach our community, we're going to coach our clients, and we're going to teach people how to build successful businesses. What do we do then? We repeat and teach that process. We're going to repeat these 8 steps over and over again to build a massive organization for my leadership network. So there's 6 areas we're going to go over here real quick that I want to hit on. Just the industry overall. Some people know a lot about it, and I'm amazed at the amount of people inside of network marketing who have been in it for years and can't tell me one thing about the industry itself. They know a little bit about their company, but they're in an industry that's gigantic and they have no idea what the industry's like. Second, we're going to go over the need, which we just hit on a little bit, but I'm going to go into depth. The company itself, what products we have, the compensation, the timing. The industry of direct sales. So this just gives you an idea how big this is. $179 billion. This was by the 2020 numbers, and that was the World Federation Direct Sales Association. So there's a nonprofit organization that basically governs the entire industry, and that's what they calculated from all the different companies. There's also 125 million representatives. Now, if you don't know this already, there's also 40 billion in the United States alone, which the majority of us, you know, I've got some people jumping on from Canada here in a bit, but the majority of us, 40 million. And then we have 7 million direct sales representatives in the United States, which is about 1 out of every like 13, 1 out of every 15 people is a rep. That means go down a neighborhood, every 15 houses, somebody in there is involved in direct sales. Now, why do people join direct sales? I always closed using these 3 things, not knowing that these are the 3 reasons why people sign up. Number 1, a third of reps join for a discount. You know, that's the number 1 reason. Out of these 3, that's the number 1 reason why people join. They're like, hey, how much is the stuff you're selling? Well, retail, it's this, and wholesale, it's this. People go, okay, I'm going to go wholesale. So the majority of people, I mean, a third of people inside of direct sales are signing up as a Sam's Club Costco member. That's the reason they get in. The second group sign up and join for a plan B. They're like, just in case. I mean, especially now, more than ever, because of what happened with COVID and the shutdowns and the restrictions, people are looking for a plan B. Even if they don't pursue it right now, they're like, man, I want a second option. I want a second option, which I would suggest using these 3 if you're in direct sales. This is a great way to close, by the way. And then the third thing is people are looking for money. So I don't care if you're looking for a discount, you're looking for safety and security of having a backup plan, or you're looking to earn money. You know, direct sales, that's the reason for it. Now, if you look at that, that means approximately in the United States, there's 2.5 million sales reps who need a coach. There's also 41 million sales reps around the world who also need a coach. Does that provide a big market? I think it's a huge, huge market. So what is the need in direct sales? And this is basically the questions that I've gotten asked. And I kind of asked the group here, have you ever been asked any of these questions? Have you asked them to yourself? Or have you had them asked by a team member or somebody you know? This is the most common one. How do I recruit? Who should I talk to? What do I say? Where do I get leads? What video should I send people? I can't get anybody to watch the video. I can't get anybody to show up or sign up, right? My people aren't doing anything. My upline won't help me. My upline quit. What do I do now? Does any of that sound familiar? Now, the question is every single one of these questions has one answer. It's a coach, knowing what to do. Now, it would be great to have somebody come in and help you, but what if you just had a course you could take and then you'd know what to do yourself, and now you're not reliant upon somebody else? So that's part of why we put this together. The company itself, you know, based here, I actually started it in 2016 and put most of this information together. So this is not an idea that popped into my head yesterday that I said, hey, we should create a company. I've actually been talking about it going back all the way to 2010, so 12 years. It's being launched as an affiliate program now, put together the way that it is. You know, I dropped the money. I had enough money to basically build the whole company out of my own pocket. So I'm the only owner. Brandy and I are basically the only owners. And that's what makes it ground floor. Now, what's interesting is when I showed this to the guy who helped me build the website and put it all together, who's also in our industry in direct sales. Some of you know Ryan Guinness with MLM Recruit on Demand. Dave's shaking his head. I know several people know this gentleman. He's like, you know, your company has the potential to go into about 100 countries worldwide. I was like, well, I was just thinking English-speaking countries. He's like, no. He goes, we could put a translator on all this, and everything you do could be translated into different languages. I was like, man, so we basically need to find some reps who can speak Spanish. We need to find some reps who can speak German. We need to find reps in basically every country who speak the different languages. And there's so many bilingual people inside of our industry that we could take this to. So let's get into the products. Because this is what I constantly get asked. Well, what are you guys offering? The main thing that we're going to offer is a way to get leads. And, you know, I take this from, you know, Keller Williams, that even though that's real estate, it applies so much to direct sales. If you're self-employed, leads are it. No leads means no sales. We must have leads. In fact, if it's helpful, you need to think of yourself as being in the lead generation business. That's the business you're in. You know, whether it's direct sales, whether it's insurance, whether it's real estate, whether it's contracting, you're in the leads business. I have people come to me all the time. They're like, well, you know, I wish you could help me because I have a landscaping business. If you drive down 82nd Street in Indianapolis, you can see signs that I created for a friend of ours that came into the business as a network marketer. That's how I met him. And he goes, well, I'm really trying to launch my landscaping business. I showed him how to do the marketing. I showed him how to get, you know, a free phone number. That way he could track everything, and his landscaping business exploded. I've done the same thing for handyman. I've done the same thing in construction. We're trying to stay in business for very long without leads. If you don't have leads, the whole business collapses. So the very first product is unlimited leads. Imagine that. Now, the question is how are we going to create that product? Well, every client becomes an affiliate of our program. So that way they can go out and help us expand what we're doing. Every client not only is an affiliate, but has access to the entire database of everybody that comes into the system. So every time somebody logs in to kind of see what this is, that name goes into a database that we all share. Now, why would that be important for network marketers? I know there's only a couple of you that have your video on here, but raise your hand if you've been in a company before, more than one company. Everybody that has their video on has raised their hand. So at some point, people, unfortunately, sometimes it's upline, unfortunately, sometimes it's the product line, unfortunately, sometimes the company has an issue and people will switch. So my question is who would you rather have a database of? Civilians who have never done network marketing, never done direct sales, have no interest in it, or would you rather have a list of people who are already involved in the industry? Because the most likely person to buy in or get a product is somebody who's already been in, right? And most of us have very unique products. So can we sell to other people? And the answer is yes. I have good friends that are giant network marketers, million-dollar earners, but they're customers of 20 different companies. Eric Worre has said from stage, hey, I'm not involved as a rep, but I am a customer of 20 different companies. Could you imagine having access to 10 or 20, 30,000 people who were like, hey, this product came out, and if you don't have a friend already in this business, let me be your rep for that particular product. Doesn't it make sense? Now, here's the second thing. This is even bigger. When I started thinking about coaches and consultants, I was like, who is a coach or a consultant's main target market? And here's what's funny. The main person a coach sells coaching to is another coach. That's kind of funny, right? But it's true. I started thinking about all of the meetings I've ever been to, whether it be, you know, a Think and Grow Rich seminar or a John C. Maxwell or a Darren Hardy or a Les Brown, any one of these independent coaches. You know who 50% of the audience is? Coaches, right? They're trying to hone their skills. They're trying to get better at what they do. So that's the target market. Now, not only are we going to give away the leads in the database for this product, but we're also going to give them the text message recruiting system. The text message recruiting system that I created that we now use in all of our businesses. I use it in real estate. I use it in investing. I use it in our holistic health company. It's how we were able to hire people so quickly. And guys, for those of you who are business owners and talk to other people who are business owners, you know what the number one complaint of business owners is right now? I can't find anybody. It's hard to hire people. Here's why it's hard to hire people, because they're using marketing that worked 20 years ago. They're not using what works now, and they don't even know. I've talked to so many people. They're like, oh, I call and I call and I call and nobody picks up the phone. And I'm like, well, that's your first problem. You're using what worked 10 and 20 years ago. That doesn't work anymore. And they're like, oh, well, what does work? And then there's where the product comes in. The larger our network becomes, the larger the database becomes, which means the more valuable the product becomes. The product is $20 one time. This is the only product that you have to buy anything else in our system. Why? Because we want to grow the database. That's the number one goal of the company, is to grow the database, to grow our influence, to grow the network. The second product, most of you already know this one, the 10 key fundamentals. What do I do when I get in? I can't tell you the number of coaches that do not know the first thing about teaching people what it takes to build an actual business inside of direct sales. Well, here you go. Weekly recording, virtual classes, 10 keys to build a successful team. The first half is the basics. The second half is focusing on one of the 10 keys, and then a Q&A at the end of each one of these sessions. Most of you who've been on that, right? You guys have seen that. This is going to be a $29 a month product. The reason, now I've been told by other coaches, they're like, you should sell that for $1,000 a month, or you should sell that for a $5,000 package. It is worth that. The problem is that's not going to attract the network marketers. The goal is to have more people in. Now, the next product comes down to the number 2 question. The first one always is who do I talk to? The second one is what do I say? So that's where this product comes in, the monthly marketing mastermind. This is basically a version of Leads and Leadership. It's a version of Leads and Leadership. Leads and Leadership was really kind of the base for trying to figure this out. Monthly, live, virtual, and recorded. The first half is how to become an authority or an expert. One of the things that I figured out how to do is I'm now getting leads coming to me. I'm now getting leads coming to me, and I've attended so many courses on if you just click these 3 buttons, leads will come to you. If you just say these 3 things, leads will come to you. And I've tried all of that crap and none of it worked. But I did meet or jump on a training of a gentleman who now makes $1 million plus a month, and he had a course online that I went through. And I learned the rest of his stuff, and I paired it with another guy. Anybody know who Gary Vaynerchuk is? Gary V. I paired it with what Gary V taught, and there was one other person at 10X that gave me the other secret. Pete Vargas. Pete Vargas, great guy. Talks about, selling from the heart. And when I combined those 3 things together, it hit me. I'm like, if you combine those 3 techniques together, that's the monthly marketing mastermind. And what we're going to do is we're going to focus on one platform a month. But the first half is going to be virtually the same because you need to basically hone that skill, the first skill, which is becoming an authority or an expert. And we're going to go over what to do. It'll be a good reminder every time. And then the second half, we're going to focus on a marketing platform. The first marketing platform in January is Facebook. Why Facebook? Because Facebook has the largest audience right now. The second month, February, I'm just going to tell you this so you guys know, is going to be TikTok. Why? It's the fastest growing platform right now. And it's heavy video content. And Brandy is actually going to hit the second half of that more than me because she's actually been on TikTok now for at least over a year, maybe a year and a half. And she just had her first video go viral. It's at 4.4 or 4.5 million? Oh, she walked away. So she'll come back to us and I'll get that number. But yesterday it was at 4.4, growing pretty fast. She was gaining 1,000 followers a day. I'm like, from a video, I was like, what did you post? And I'll let you guys go look at that. It's really fun. This product, $100 a month. She said 4.4 still, so it hasn't hit 4.5. The monthly marketing mastermind is $100 a month. Guys, I look at classes all the time that focus on LinkedIn. It's $1,000. That focus on a day of Facebook advertising marketing. I'm going to show you how to market on these platforms and write this word down. Free. There's no paid advertising at all to do what I'm going to teach you how to do. So would that be worth $100? I think so. Now, when you see what the affiliate program is with this, you'll really understand why the price makes sense. The next, and this is where it really comes down to where we're going to stand apart. This product does not exist anywhere else at the moment. I asked everybody, and I challenge you to go find it somewhere else and bring it to me because I was not able to find it. There is one place you can get it, but you have to join the military. And, that's going to be a rough thing. I have a very good friend, Benny, who said he's going to be on here. He might already be on, but he'll be jumping on here in a minute. Benny Boyles was a Army National Guard recruiter. And he said, well, yeah, we actually had to take a class on recruiting to understand how to recruit and kind of get a certification. It's the only place I know you can go to get the certification. And I'll be real honest, I don't think that's really going to work for most people. You know, hey, just sign up in the military and serve 4 years. I mean, it'd probably be beneficial for a lot of people, but I just don't think it's real practical. The certified recruiting coach, who is it really for? Number one, it's for any person involved in direct sales and network marketing, so that way they know what to do. That's who it's for. Then once you know what to do, think about how attractive it would be to be able to recruit, saying, well, the reason I know I can help you above and beyond everybody else is I'm a certified recruiting coach. I've been through classes and I can teach you and show you exactly how to do this. So that class is going to start March 4th, 5th, and 6th. Now, we're going to cover the history, statistics, philosophies, mindset, skill set, personality assessments, prospecting, presenting, promoting, profiting. How do you profit? Guys, do you guys know that, like, once you understand a couple of the different comp plans, you can break any comp plan down and I can tell you how to make $1,000 a month, $10,000 a month. I can show you exactly how to do it in any company. The big thing is how many people will it take? Once you know the statistics and the numbers, I can tell you exactly how many people you will have to recruit to get X number of people in the room, to get X number of people to do something. It is a mathematical formula. It's not guessing. It's not finding the perfect person. It's not being the perfect person. It's just math. It's a numbers game. That's why they say it's a numbers game. It's a numbers game, but here's the problem. Nobody ever discusses what the numbers actually are, which would be helpful. So you become a coach. This is going to be like a 3-ring binder type of course where we're going to do there's going to be questionnaires, there's going to be tests, there's going to be assessments in it. And Sunday, I'm going to pick out half a dozen people from half a dozen companies, and I'm going to coach them live. Do you think that would be helpful to anybody seeing how to do it? Because I'm not the best at it, but I now have a lot of experience because so many people have come at me and said, what do I do? Can you help me? So this product is going to be $495 or $497, basically $500. And I wanted to make it $500, and I got told by 3 different marketing people, you have to make it this kind of number. This is the highest selling, highest converting number. I was like, okay, I'll do what you suggest. So the next one is team building. So I tell this to everybody. I said, you think if you can't recruit a lot of people right now, if you haven't broken 25 people, if you haven't broken 25 personal recruits, you think that's the hardest thing that you'll ever have to figure out how to do. And what I can tell you is it is one of the hardest things you do. You'll spend 80%, guys, you'll spend 80% of your time in network marketing figuring out how to recruit the first 25 people in one company in a 24-month time frame. That'll be the hardest thing you'll ever figure out. And across the board, every single person I've ever talked to, that's the hardest thing. But it's not. The second hardest thing is once you get people in, it's dealing with all the people and team building. It's the culture. It's the personalities. It's the growth cycle that people go through and understanding where people are at in that growth cycle. So same thing. June 3rd, 4th, and 5th. It's a 3-day event. We're going to go over the history, statistics, philosophies, mindsets, personality profiling. We're going to go over tracking. We're going to go over dealing with these people and what to do. So that way you can teach people how this works. Now, you can learn how to teach people, or you can basically turn around and tell them to take the course yourself, and you'll understand why that's important here in a minute. Again, 3-ring binder, have the same stuff. $997 is the price of the course. Certified event builder. Guys, right now, real estate agents are learning how to do stuff online, how to meet people online. They're like, oh, I'm having a harder time meeting people. I'm having a harder time. Guys, every business is having a problem, right? There is a certain dynamic to every single event. There's a certain dynamic to every single event. And people don't really realize that there's a setup to the event, there's the event itself, and then there's the after the event, what to do. And a lot of times people are good at one of these. Now, I talked to a very, very experienced network marketer the other day, somebody who's made a couple $100,000 a year, right? A couple $100,000 a year, a few $1,000,000 total. And I said, I got a question for you. Where did you learn how to do events? And he kind of like laughed. He's like, well, I learned how to do events at events. I was like, so the event talked about how to do it? He's like, no, I behind the scenes. I mean, I just showed up and I helped out and I figured it out. I said, so if I'm brand new and I want to learn that, how many years do I have to sit inside these meetings before I understand what the events are? He's like, I don't know, 10, if you're paying attention. I'm like, why did it work so fast for you? He goes, well, I grew up around the business. My dad and my grandfather were in the business, and I showed up at events at 10 years old and was helping move chairs and stuff. So by the time I got to the point where I could participate in the event, I understood it. I was like, interesting. So I put this together. This hit me last night, and this was some other things about this is, number one, you have to know how to participate in events to make them work. Do you know how to be the best participant in an event? Do you know how to set the example at an event so everybody else will follow what to do? If you don't know how to be a participant in an event, here's what I can tell you, you'll never be a good promoter of the event. You have to learn how to participate the right way first. And there is, I mean, as dumb as it sounds, it's more than just showing up and sitting down. So you have to be a participant, you have to be a promoter, then you can become a producer. A producer inside the events, meaning you're not the production manager, you're producing the event because you have the most butts and seats. And guys, whoever has the most butts and seats in a meeting is the one that's making the most money. You go from a producer to a production, to the production of events. You're actually running the events in the background, the speaker at the events, and then you become the teacher of the events. Now, the question is where do you learn how to do that other than a course like this? So September 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, that's what we're going to cover. $14.97 for the events. How much do you think an outside company would be willing to pay somebody who knows, who's been in events for years, who knows how to run an event, who knows how to put it together, and you can come in and coordinate? Just go ask a wedding planner what they charge. Does anybody know how much a wedding planners charge to set up weddings? Esafina does. I'm guessing it's a lot, right? It's more than $20 an hour. I'll tell you that. I mean, we're talking about thousands of dollars, thousands. If you were, if you had, go ahead, Esafina, give me a number.
Yeah. So I got married in 2015, and my friend was giving us a deal, and it was still $3,000. And by the way, it was so worth it because you don't want to be worried about your wedding, on your wedding. So many moving parts to it. So,
and the same thing is true if you're a business owner and you need to put on an event and you want to have a coordinator, and it's more than, hey, here's where to put the chairs. I mean, there's a lot to it.
Oh my God, this certification is so exciting for me because I've actually attempted putting on, I went through it, I put on events, but it was so much work. And it was learning through the School of Hard Knocks, and wow. But yeah.
If you would have had a checklist that said, these are all the things you need to do, you might be like, screw it, I need to hire somebody.
Right.
I mean, really. And I mean, sometimes it's worth paying the money just to get somebody else to do it. But thank you for, giving us that, because I mean, it really is a lot more than what most people think. So the amount you can charge if you were a certified event, you're like, look, I know how to do all these different things. And guys, we're going to talk about how to do phone calls, like how to do phone call sessions. We're going to talk about how to do Zooms. We're going to talk about how to do live events, opportunity events, training events, weekend seminars. And I've been behind the scenes at a point where we had 3,000 people in the room. Now, when you cross about 1,000 people, that's where you hire the big kids, the ones that's all they do. You know, there's a production company out there that runs all of Darren Hardy's events, that runs all of John Maxwell's events, that runs all of Tony Robbins' events, and then you're hiring those people. And if you think, oh my gosh, I don't know if I could afford that. If you can put 1,000 people in the room, you can. That's not your problem. The last certification program is the Growth and Achievement certification. This is going to be December, and I've already decided we're going to do it in Disney World, because I saw the pictures of what Disney World looks like, Florida, Orlando, during Christmas and New Year's, and their New Year's is absolutely phenomenal. And I thought, what a cool way to, you know, end the year. Growth and Achievement. And some of you have gone over part of this program where we go over the top 100 dreams, and then we narrow it down to your top 10 list and the 10 categories and so on and so forth. We're going to go into how to write your mission statement, how to write your vision statement, how to write your purpose statement. Guys, this you can take into a major company. This is like organizational leadership, organizational management. Once you learn how to do it and you're successful at doing it with a small group of people, people will pay big money for somebody who knows how to set this up. And that's what we're going to talk about here in a minute, is the affiliate program. But we're going to cover how to grow and achieve in every area of life, because there's more than just business. There's more than just recruiting. There's more than just networking. How to have it all. Here's what I know. Every single person I've ever met gets to a certain point and gets stuck. Why? Our basic human instinct, which we all have, basically its goal is to keep you safe. That's what your human instinct is there for. Its goal is to keep you safe and keep you in your little rut, and keep you happy. So I learned this from a friend of mine in real estate, and it made the most sense. They said, if you grew up in a neighborhood of houses that were $150,000 to $200,000, I guarantee as a real estate agent, you're selling houses at $150,000 to $200,000. If you grew up in a neighborhood of $400,000 to $500,000 houses, I guarantee those are the houses you're selling. Now, why would that be true? It's because you're always going to sell what you're comfortable with. If you're comfortable inside of a $400,000 house, that's what you're going to sell. If you're comfortable only in a $100,000 house, that's all you're going to sell. The same thing is true in life. If you're comfortable at 50,000, you're going to stay at 50,000. If you're comfortable at 100, you're going to stay at 100. How do you go from 100 to 1,000,000? You have to get around other people and learn how to be comfortable. What's going to push you out of your comfort zone to go from 100 to 2 or 2 to 4 or 4 to 8? What does it? And here's what I learned from basically my coach and mentor: only a system will do it. Only a system of tracking, and only a system of goal setting, and only a system of accountability will push you outside of that comfort zone. Being excited won't do it. And this is the reason why so many of us, raise your hand if you've ever written down your goals and not done shit and didn't accomplish it, right? And you wrote it down again. How many people have been to those seminars again and again and again and didn't end up doing it? Why? Right? Some of us are laughing and going, oh my God, this has happened to me too. And, you know, great to see everybody else. I see a bunch of other people jumped on. So how do you have it all? How do you expand an experience? How do you get the most out of life? Do you think people would be interested in just getting more? Here's the thing. If you become successful, the number one thing that successful people have is they get stagnant. They're like, okay, I made it. Great. How do you go help other people make? Do you want to be, everybody's like, I just want to make enough money to be on the beach. Well, it's not, it might be cool the first week, but what happens after the first week of you just being on the beach by yourself alone? Like the goal is to bring other people with you. The goal is to go help people. And that's kind of the purpose of this whole company, is to help people grow. That program is $19.97, so it's $2,000. I've spent more than this. I've spent more than this for stuff that hasn't helped me at all. So those are the products: Unlimited Leads, 10 Key Fundamentals, the Monthly Marketing Mastermind, and then our 4 certification programs. That's the total. So now we get into the next part, which is the compensation. And there's actually 2 ways to earn here. And they're both pretty simple and straightforward. I tried to make this absolutely as transparent as possible because there is so much complication inside of the network marketing direct sales industry, right? Have you ever looked at one of those companies where it's like 6 steps before you get activated to get paid, right? the 32 things you got to jump. Well, if you got to get somebody on the right and somebody on the left that lives on a different planet, that both have eaten green soup, and and then they've got to buy this much product on this day, and then you've got to report it in the back office, and somebody has to check it off, and then you get paid. This is going to be a little bit easier. So there's two ways you can become an affiliate. Every single product has its own affiliate program. Every single product has its own affiliate program. That way, basically, if you don't own the product, you're not an affiliate of it. Make sense? Second, become a certified coach. Once you're a certified coach, there's a whole nother level of income that you can earn once you go through these programs coaching other people. So we're going to go over that. The affiliate program, here's the details. Each product has its own affiliate agreement. Just talked about that. It is a pass-up comp plan, meaning if the people below you don't own that product, but somebody down the road buys it and you own the product, it passes up to you. I'll explain that here more in depth in a minute. Basically, it means you can get paid an insane amount of money. The other thing that we were able to add in is if you were originally the person who basically referred that product, let's just say Dave Roeder refers a product to James, and for whatever reason, Dave Roeder has something happen, with COVID, with accidents, banking problems, whatever, all of a sudden he misses and he doesn't pay for, the $100 a month product, and, James does, the next month pay for it, and it ends up passing around to Estefina for whatever reason. If Dave reactivates, he recaptures James' sale. In some companies, that's not possible. We made that possible because we know stuff happens. So it is a pass-up compensation plan, but it's also a compression plan, meaning if somebody quits and leaves, Dave Roeder's like, I'm out, I don't want to do this anymore. Congratulations, James. Estefina is now your new direct sponsor upline. So it's a compression plan. Just to let you know, one of the companies that many of us know about that I was involved in, they do not have a compression plan. What happens is all the dead positions pay corporate. A lot of people don't know that. All the dead positions pay corporate. Corporate is the largest rep of the entire company. And it almost is encouraged. Like, if you want to leave, great, because we assume your position and we get all we get all the residuals and all the sales that come through that team. So the compensation. The very first product, the $20 unlimited leads, is 100% commission. It's 100% commission. And it is a peer-to-peer payment system. What does that mean? That means if Dave sends over the link to James and James is like, this looks cool, I'm going to buy it, James pays Dave directly. It does not run through us. It does not run through corporate. You're paying him directly. Has anybody ever used, Cash App or Venmo or PayPal? How fast do you get your money? It's basically immediately, right? Unless you want the, or the next day it comes in, but it shows up in yours. Go ahead, Dave.
It's like 1 to 3 days, business days.
Business day. But it's there automatically. You can see it, right?
Yeah.
Like they transfer and then it takes a minute for it to deposit. So
Zelle.
Yeah, there is no coming through My Leadership Network. You're paying the person directly, which means your commissions are going to come in. Now, when PayPal and Venmo, it basically runs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I haven't seen it necessarily go down. I know it's had delays. The next product, the 10 Key Fundamentals, 80% commission. So $24 a month. Here's what's funny about that product, and what I consider funny about that product is if you just sold a few of those, you would make more money doing this than any network marketing company on the planet, because that would mean you'd have a residual $24 coming in. For those of you who don't know the guy, Robert Kiyosaki, how many people know who Robert Kiyosaki is? You know what Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow off of each one of his houses were in the 70s? $25 a month. And he built that up to $10,000 a month, lived off of $3,000, saved $7,000, and that's what created the fortune that is now the Rich Dad, Poor Dad company at $25 a month. Now that was in the 70s, and obviously we're in the 2020s, so different story, right? So I would suggest not stopping at $24. The next product, the monthly marketing mastermind, 80% commission is $80 a month. So if you add the two monthlies together, you'd earn $104 per person residually a month with just, if they just get on this basic products. Also, it's an 80% commission on the recruiting coach, the team building coach, the event coach, and the growth coach. So if you were to market any one of those programs, you know, $400 to $1,600, somebody goes all in, you're earning $4,100 plus whatever the monthly is the following month. The thing I loved about the coaching industry was the ability that there were high ticket items. And by the way, there are coaching programs that exceed $100,000 a year, right? Estefina knows. Tony Robbins, you know, his elite program is $100,000 a year. Actually, it was 60,000. Now it's 100,000, but it's also another 50,000 in just getting to the events because of where they're located. Grant Cardone has a $100,000 a month program. So there's several of them out there. This is not really high up there, but look at the numbers on the 80% commission. So if you were to be able to get in and you're like, you know what, I really can't afford $100 a month. If you had a system where you were able to sell 4 unlimited lead programs, you can now afford it, right? Or 5. Now you can get the first 2 products. You sell any one of the first couple products, you can easily afford the certification coach and so on and so forth. So moving on. What if you just become a certified coach? What if you never become an affiliate? What if you never sell anything in direct sales or network marketing or recruit anybody? Well, as a coach, you can do one-on-one coaching, you can do group coaching, you can do motivational speaking, you can host live events and seminars, you can book online workshops, you can write books, you can create digital courses. And this is the International Coaching Federation. People who have a certification from the International Coaching Certification is $235 an hour, but the average coach earns between $50 and $200 an hour. Now, what's interesting is how fast can you become a coach? And I think a better question is what qualifies you to be a coach? And this kind of hit me because for years I wanted to do a program like this, and I held myself back. And here's why. I'm like, why would anybody want to listen to me when there's a Tony Robbins? Why would anybody want to listen to me when there's a Eric Worre? Why would anybody want to listen to me when there's a Ray Higdon, right? Well, here's the reason why. I've been in the industry for 25 years. I've made $10,000 a month in network marketing. Because I've made $10,000 a month, I can relate to people who make 100. But when you haven't made $1 or you've made $100, or maybe your top month is $1,000 or $1,400, it's hard to relate to those people. So this isn't about what you've produced. It's about what you've overcame. It's about what you've overcame. Where's your starting point? Just going through the course puts you 80% ahead of 99% of the people in the freaking industry. So if you were just earning $100 an hour to coach people through what to do, and you think about this, you're going to have that course. You're an affiliate of it. You have the ability to reprint it and walk somebody through it. You have the ability to print the assessments and take people through it. You have the ability to print the questionnaires and take people through it. Make sense? So could you charge $100 an hour to do that? Yes. Just by going through the course, you're further ahead than most people. Now, I would suggest if you're a coach and not good at it, you can become part of an affiliate in our program. You can run people through the first couple things that we do. And if just with the $29 product alone, we created a level system called the MLM Black Belt Recruiting System. Everybody starts as a white belt. When you sell somebody in, you start as a white belt. The first 9 sales are 9 strikes, just like martial arts. And when you hit the 10th, you go to yellow belt. When you hit the 20th, you go to gold, and so on and so forth, all the way up to black belt. Go ahead.
I have a question on that. So you're saying when we sell this program or when we sell whatever
When you
MLM.
sell this program, I
Okay.
have the ability to track, so that way I know what's going on. So imagine coming to somebody and saying, look, I've sold 100 people. I'm a recruiter. I've recruited 100 people into our coaching program. I'm a black belt recruiter. Now, it's a mimic of, or kind of, there's another company out there that has done something similar. For those of you who know Brig Myers Squibb, you can become a black belt in that as well. Totally different meaning, totally different setup. But the idea is martial arts and the color system and the number system is universal. For those of you who don't know this, the reason why most network marketing companies run off of gems is because gems mean the same thing in every single language. A diamond is a diamond everywhere in the world. An emerald is an emerald everywhere in the world. The black belt program is exactly the same way. So it goes 0 to 100, then it goes 150 first degree, 200 second degree, all the way up to 10th degree, you're a grandmaster. If you can recruit 1,000 people into anything, you can go anywhere and train anybody. It doesn't matter what company it is, because you will understand the dynamics. If you can recruit 1,000 people into something, people want to know how to do that. And what I found is when we broke 100 people in this last company we were working with, when we broke 100 people that we recruited, I had people simply come to me and ask me, they're like, I don't care what else you've done. I don't care what level you're at. I don't care how much money. That was not the question. They're like, how did you recruit 100 people? And guys, 100 people is nothing in this industry. It's nothing in the industry, but it's something if you've never done it, right? It's something. You really have achieved something if you've never done it, and you can get to 100. Guys, if you can get to 100, you can go to 1,000, because now you know what to do. Does that make sense? Now it really becomes, is your basic human instinct holding you back from going past 100? Because once you know how to do it, you can do it over and over and over again. So with that being said, timing. Why? And this is just another question that I've already been asked. They're like, well, why your program off of everything else that's out there? Well, first of all, because it doesn't exist anywhere else. It doesn't exist. I'm going to ask a question here in a minute, and you guys can jump on because I'm going to open up the questions here in a second. But look at the TV you have right now. Is it similar to the TV you had 20 years ago? And most of you would say no. Why? Because the electronic business changes very quickly. Anybody using DVDs or CDs anymore? I bet 99% of us are all digital. Anybody have a home phone? Some people still have a home phone, but most of us don't even have a home phone anymore, right? Think of, we were talking about cell phones last night because I had a friend come over last night, and he had a 2005 Apple number 5, the 5th generation Apple, and it was the little itty bitty, like, you know, pocket size. The one Steve Jobs said nobody will ever need a phone bigger than 5 inches. But it changed, right? It changed. Cell phones change. Hair care, are you using the same hair care you were 25 years ago? The same skin? No, because it changes. These things change constantly. But here's something that I realized. Personal development. How many of you, has anybody listened to Jim Rohn? Jim Rohn's dead, right? So that means we are still using stuff from people who are deceased and no longer around. Anybody ever listen to Zig Ziglar every once in a while? Turn on him. Again, I listen to Zig Ziglar. Zig Ziglar's gone. Personal development. How many people have listened to, you know, the following people? Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins has been doing this 40 years. John Maxwell has been doing this 40 years. People are like, well, what's going to keep the information out there? The information on how to deal with people doesn't change. Personal development is still going to be around. It's just the newest version of it. How are you applying it on the newest platform? So that's kind of what we do. Now, here's the thing. You guys can't even sign up at this moment. The system, the programmer's working on connecting the banking system to this, so I can't even be like, go sign up. But what I do want to let you know is by Monday, it is supposed to be live. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do an all-in special. I'm going to do an all-in special, and we're actually even removing the $129. I want to put some founder positions in place that are going to be the testimonials of going through the program and using it. And I wanted to discount it. Now, obviously, if you were all in, it'd be over $5,000. So we discounted it. It's like 80%. So $997. And if it is something you want to do, great. Text me. I'll have you on the list. I'll send you the program, and you can be one of the first people who want to do it. If you want to get in on anything different than the $997 special, it's just regular price, whatever you want to get in. And that's what's kind of cool about the program is you get in where you fit in. If you're like, hey, the $20 unlimited leads, that makes sense for me, fine. If you just want to do $29 a month, great. Now, I did have a question. Somebody said, well, what if I want to come in and I just want to buy the recruiting certification? You can do that. You have to buy. The only product that you have to buy is the unlimited leads, because that's how the company grows and expands. So once you pay that $20, you basically have access a la carte to anything else you want to buy in any order.
I have a question.
Yes.
Are you saying if we sign up all the original prices that you said for each one of them, you know, I'm writing down, there's different prices for each one.
Yep.
You're all bundling all those prices
I'm bundling everything together for $1,000. Yeah.
So you're talking, so the certified team building, which was $999, right? Or $990 or whatever. Sorry, I don't read my own scribbles. Or so all that is just all of it is gonna be $997?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. So that way we have 100. Basically, I'm going to offer 100 founders positions that are going to be all in basically for life. So we have the testimonials to build the company.
I definitely love it. I'm one of them.
So I got questions, and you know, I'd actually like feedback from everybody. What are your thoughts? What are your questions? I'm gonna kind of open it up to everybody at this point. Estefina, if you want to write me and just text me all in, you know, I'll have you on the list. You'll get that link.
No, it doesn't.
And you're gonna tell us when so you said we can't sign up, but you're gonna tell
I'm
us.
told by Monday everything will be connected and ready to roll.
Okay.
So I won't know till Monday. And if it comes on before Monday, if he's like, hey, I'll get it done, I'm just waiting on programmers to text us back.
So the leads,
Yes.
are these people that are interested in this or just?
What was shit when it starts up? Something like this.
Well, it would be,
Wait a second.
hold on one second. Okay. It would be everyone who basically is either buying into the program or interested in reselling the program. So think about it. You're going to have people in direct sales and coaches that will be coming in.
Okay.
Does that answer it?
So then everybody on this call who buys in is also a potential
It's
lead.
become a lead in the system. Yes. So down the road, if a new company were to pop up and you were the first one in and you're like, hey guys, I just found this new product, this new company. Yeah, you would have access to every single person on here.
Okay. It gives me their information. So
Yeah, it's gonna, every single person that comes in creates a profile of who they are, where they're at, what country. So if you just wanted to be like, I want to target the United States, I want to target the UK, it's going to have a category like that where you're going to be able to target place by place. Also industry by industry, because that's one of the questions is, are you in direct sales? Are you in network marketing? Are you an affiliate marketer? Are you a coach? You know, imagine having that detailed information.
yeah, the system that I have allows me to get, you know, prospects.
Right.
It doesn't tell me if they're been in direct sale or network marketing per se.
Right.
But it gives me a lot of information about the person on what's the best way to contact them, and then what's the way, and then you figure out a way to contact them.
Right. Then you have to figure out, yeah, what's the best method for whatever product you're selling. Right.
Yeah, because it gives me interests and skills, but I could also target state, country. So, I mean, it's
Awesome.
similar, but doesn't tell me that they're in direct sales or network marketing or.
Now, obviously, you don't have to be in direct sales to do this, right? You don't have to be a coach to
Right.
do this. Anybody could, but it's really built as a B2B product. Does that make sense? And it's so much easier to sell B2B than it is B2C, because B2C, I'm going out there just saying, hey, do you have any interest? Is this even a category you'd be interested in? Versus Estefina, I know that you're already involved in the industry, and I know you're working with XYZ company. If I could share with you some things that other people are using in your company that are working, would you be interested? Or can I send you the information? Right.
And then you're going to have like the scripts to send to people.
Which is what the PDF is. The
Yeah.
PDF shows you how to expand, and then as we get into the marketing courses, the monthly marketing, I'm going to, kind of go into more depth on how would you do that online? How would you do that on Facebook? How would you do that on TikTok? How would you do that on LinkedIn? And then you'll get the entire schedule, because that's one of the things we laid out. Is I was like, I don't know if you've been in network marketing where you have no idea when the next thing is until you get to the next thing. And then you're like, oh shit, that's on a birthday, holiday, blah, blah, blah. You're going to have the whole year up front, knowing all the events are.
Huh.
Do you think I have a question. Do you think there's going to be some kind of just resistance for people to be in a database that other people are going to be able to use?
Aren't you in a database of everything that you ever sign up in? The difference is it's going to have access. It's a closed group. Like, somebody can't come in from the outside and say, hey, Jeff, I want to buy this database. Great. You're either involved with us or you're not.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like you're putting, your social security number's there, not there. Your birth date's not there. But you're basically agreeing that, yeah, I'm okay to be contacted. And there's a note there that says, hey, look, if you want to contact me about another opportunity, you've got to contact me via this. And, obviously you've got to deal with that just like you would any business. I mean, because we own a holistic health company and we own a real estate company, I get at least 3 insurance people calling me every day. I have 3 insurance calls every single day.
Wow.
I have 3, we can help you with your marketing. And I was like, awesome. And Brandy can back me up on this, because I turned this over to her because I was so tired of talking to everybody. I said, that's great. I said, we do it for free. How much does it cost? And I was like, well, we're doing it for free. Well, we can bring you to the top of the search engine. I said, great, we're already there for free. We are. I mean, look it up. We're the number one, we're beating the franchises. And we spend absolutely $0. Zero. Yeah, well, I take that back. The only thing we've spent is $100 a year is our blog. So if you can beat $100 a year, let's do it.
So I have another question about getting people in. When you say that we get the $20 that for our recruits, that seems like it's going to be, I wouldn't know how to tell my friends. I mean, I'm not going to say, hey, you could do this and you got to pay me. How does that work?
Basically, you're going to send them a link and it says, do you understand that Estefina is your referring agent? Yes. It's $20.
So am I going to, like, if I'm if I've brought in my friend, Cynthia, and she's wanting to come in, do I also send her my Venmo? Or
it's kind of like, once you enter in, you have to create a profile, right? And then you're going to have to click yes or no if you want to become an affiliate. You don't have to become an affiliate.
Okay.
That's an option.
Right.
Some people just want the information. They don't want to be an affiliate. They don't want to resell the program. It is a personal choice if you want to, if you want to be a client or you want to be a participant, right? That's a choice. So you click that. If you click yes, I want to be an affiliate, another page is going to pop up where you create your profile as an affiliate, just like, Facebook or whatever. And one of the things is it says, how do you want to be paid?
Okay.
And you're going to have to input your, do you want to be paid Apple Pay? Do you want to be paid PayPal? Do you want to be paid? And it has the links for each one of them, or it has the space to put in the links for each one of them. And you just list your whatever, however you want to be paid, because once we get outside the country, you have to think, you know, I mean, if you plan on building this as a coach and you want to get really big, you're going to have to think, well, where all are people going to be paying in from? So we're using a couple different things that one of them's available in 100 countries.
Got it. Okay, cool. That sounds great.
What else? Feedback, likes, dislikes, questions? Anyone?
I got a question, Jeff.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I think I heard everything, but I may have missed this. But the $997 plus the $129 a month, that has to be all paid at once.
The $997 all in, I did away with the $129 a month. It's all in for life, $997 one time.
And that's all one time. The payment has to be in one
time up front. Yeah, like I'm going to offer that for, basically we're going to pre-launch the company. We're going to offer that, you know, until the official launch is actually going to be July 1st. So we're going to give it a 6-month pre-launch time frame. Basically, if you decide to come in like that and you turn around and sell somebody else in like that, you're at 80% of that product.
So I
Right.
Oh.
Can I finish my question real quick?
Yes,
Yeah. It's not done. I'm sorry.
So, so to get into the affiliated program, I think we talked the other day, it was 149 was what the initial pay was going to be to get in.
Every product has its own affiliate agreement. So if you decide not to do the 997, whatever product you buy, if it's the Leads product, you can only be an affiliate of the Leads. If it's the 10 key, this is the only product. The unlimited unlimited Leads is the only product you have to buy to be in, and then you buy anything else a la carte, and whatever product you buy, you're an affiliate of. Does that make sense?
Yeah, my head buds wouldn't click out in the middle of your sentence.
Oh.
Hold on.
Okay.
So say that again, because my earbuds decided to click out.
So the unlimited Leads is the only product you have to buy anything else a la carte. Did you get that?
Yeah, and that's the $20, right?
That's the $20. So $20, everybody becomes a lead of the program. That's to be involved. From there, all the rest of the stuff can be bought a la carte, and everything has its own individual affiliate agreement. So if you don't buy the 10 keys and you just bought the monthly marketing, then you'd spend $20 to basically be involved, and then you'd buy the monthly marketing mastermind for $100 a month. And those would be the only two products that you could actually earn from, because they're the only two products you own and have an affiliate agreement with. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so $100 a month is after the first initial month, based on what you just said, right?
No, maybe we're confusing the difference. The all-in discount is one time. That's going to go away.
Right, I understand that.
Okay, so if you buy all in, you're automatically involved in all of the products that are listed there for life, ongoing. There is no monthly.
I do understand that. Okay. I guess what I'm trying to say, or I'm trying to understand, is that if I don't have $997, I want to get in, and the only ones I can get paid on if I'm an affiliate is the ones that I have. So if I buy the monthly marketing mastermind for $100 a month, that would be the only one I'd be able to be paid on.
Correct.
So my initial question was, if I don't have $997 to buy the whole package, then would have to result to the $100 a month until I get enough to pay for a second one and then build
or
on
whatever
that.
other product you want. Yeah.
So once I build onto once I've got the monthly marketing mastermind part of it under control, and I want to get certified for the recruiting coach, then am I adding another on top of that monthly payment?
No, they're all of the certification programs are one time only.
So the $100 a month is for everything? As I work my way through it?
The $100 a month is just for the monthly marketing mastermind product. It comes out every month. It's like you're buying a ticket once a month to come to the seminar.
Okay, so if I'm a person that's wanting to ultimately be at the top of the training, completing all the training, then how much is it going to take, being I'm not buying it all at one time?
Well, let's go back and I don't know if you caught.
Okay.
Here's the pricing.
Okay.
$20,
I was listening to it, but I wasn't where I could see it.
No problem. Yeah, so I can
send the columns earlier.
Yeah, I can send the slide to you so that way you can kind of look it over. And it just allows people to get in where you fit in. If you only can get in for $20 and you're like, look, I'm going to sell a bunch of the 10 key fundamentals to make enough money so I can pay for my $100 a month mastermind, you do it. You know, if you need to sell a couple of the $100 masterminds before you're able to, you know, do the certification coach, great, sell 5 or 6 of them and now it's paid for. And I mean, you can literally work your way up.
I guess that's what my question was. How do I build onto that to get to that?
How do you do it? You just would refer people the link and basically, you know, use our sales process to get it in front of more people.
Right.
By going to the monthly marketing mastermind, we're showing you either how to build your own network marketing company or how to build this. But the technique's going to be the same. You just change the product and change the company.
I see.
Yeah. So it allows, you know, whether you're in network marketing, whether you're an affiliate of our program, or whether you're an outside coach, we're going to show you how to do it so it builds whatever you want to build. It's not specific to just one thing.
Okay.
So I think
now seeing it,
the most valuable product, you know, the most valuable product we have is probably going to be the leads overall, because honestly, one connection could change everything for you. But when it comes to technique, the marketing program is going to be, I mean, once the marketing we're going to talk about, once you put it in place, it can generate leads indefinitely.
Right.
Okay.
And then the other thing you said something about the founders is something separate from this, or?
No, the founders are going to be the first 100 people that go in at $997 that are all in will be the founders.
Okay. And they have, and you're going to run that until you get to 100 or till June, whichever comes first?
Right now, it's to the 100. If we need to extend it, we'll figure it out.
Okay.
I have a quick question.
Thank you.
So right now there's when people buy the whole program, the 997 program, are there going to be commissions, because it's already so brought down? So would there be an affiliate for that too?
It's identical to what we're talking about. It's $997, just like it was this team billing. It's 80%.
But the all-in package, so 80%.
Correct.
Okay. So basically,
80% of that package.
Okay.
It would almost be like it's its own separate product, although it certifies you for everything, makes you an affiliate of everything. It also pays you at that level.
Right. Okay. So it's good incentive to get people to sign up before it ends or it comes.
Yeah, it would be really good. Now, one thing that I wasn't able to go over is and it just kind of hit me because a lot of you have brought this up already, is how do you advertise this? Do you realize this is not network marketing? And because it's not network marketing and it's classified underneath education, it means you can advertise this mainstream. And if you can advertise this mainstream, I already know how I'm going to do it. I'm going to actually run ads. I'm going to pay. I'm going to use the money coming in from the company to pay for ads to create leads, which means I can give those leads to the people who are all in. Because there's no way I'm going to be able to, I mean, just honestly, there's no way I can physically call every single person back to ask a question. So we're going to create a lead system with this for the people who are affiliates who want to build it. And that's, you know, that could be the game changer right there. Imagine being able to run an ad that works here and you're like, hey, can I run that ad in Europe? Or can I run that ad in Australia? Or can I run that ad in another country? Can we grab that ad, change it to another language? And I'll tell you, the very first ad that I'm going to actually run is the biggest lies in network marketing. I've never seen more people jump onto a live faster. I had $2 million earners. Now, both of them I had met, but I did not know them well. But there were like 40 people who jumped on instantly just to see what I was talking about. Like, are you bashing the industry? Are you doing this? That live ended up going to 400 or 500 people. And it was not a scheduled thing that I told a bunch of people about. I just put it out there just to see if the name itself. Negativity is the fastest way to gain attention. I'm not saying that's what we should do in every case, but to basically get traction, I am going to use that. And many of you have heard that that talk I've done where, right, James? And it's good. I don't bash the industry. I just talk about kind of the things that are said, the little white lies, or the things that are said to basically sell people into the industry are not necessarily the things you're supposed to do to build the industry, if that makes sense. Like certain things are just, they're just there to sell you in, but that's not exactly what you should do to build. And I'll give you, for instance, of one of them. Some people say, hey, you only need 2 people to get to the top of our comp plan, or you only need 3 people. You guys ever heard this? Well, because we're a binary, you only need 2 people. Because we're a 3 that does 3, you only need to find 3 good people. And in people's mind, when they don't know network marketing and they've never seen this before, they literally believe it only takes 2 people. And they sponsor their 2 people, their grandmother and their golden retriever, and they're like, why the hell is this not working for me? I did exactly what people told me, and people sometimes are literal like that. Anybody else have any feedback, questions?
I just sent you a message, Jeff.
Okay. Is that on? Oh, I see it now. Okay, so
I do have a question. I do have a question. So how are we going to be able to talk about each one of them if we're trying to promote it? I felt like that we had to either experience it first to be able to promote it. I don't know. That's just how my head goes. But
right. I mean, right now it's like, does this make sense? I mean, obviously we're going to have the weekly classes right away. During the weekly classes, we're going to be going over what the rest of the program and the products are. Mm-hmm. And some of you have experienced already, correct? Some of the classes and some of the things I've done. So just like any other company that's coming out, and I'll give you, for instance, Eric Worre at one point had never done a GoPro. And he was telling companies and teams, you know, come to this event, come to this event, come to this event, come to this event. And I'll be real honest, you know how many people Eric Worre had at his very first event? Does anybody know this? Does everybody know who Eric Worre is, first of all? Because okay, most people know.
I just learned who he was, you know, 3 days before this GoPro event that happened last.
So he's like the #1 guy in our space, money-wise. Yeah. Interesting past. He's been a millionaire and crossed $1 million. The other time it was like 990,000. So I'll give him credit. He's done $1 million twice. And then he went out and became a trainer, and now he's the #1 trainer in the industry. He went out and did videos for a year, and he interviewed some of the biggest people in network marketing, and did basically informational videos for the very first year. He got to over 1,000 videos before it wasn't kind of like his daily thing, Network Marketing Pro. And then he ran his first event. He had just under 200 people at his first event. It was like 180 something, 9 people at his first event. And he goes, the reason being is because no one had ever experienced it and didn't know what they were coming to, it only drew a small crowd to begin with. And I know that's going to happen with this. The very first event will be smaller. But then once people have experienced the event and there's a recording of it, because right now, if you bought it, the event's coming up. All you're buying is a ticket to come to the event, right? It's not there yet. But once we do the event and you go through it and you have the 3-ring binder and you have the assessments and you have everything, now you can just go online and be like, okay, mind blown, just went through this course. Here's a little bit about what's in it. Every single person here is going to experience something different because of what their training's been. And the answer to your question is yes, you can. So Melissa asked, hey, if I come in and I just buy the $20, can I still come in and buy the $9.97 if it's still available? And the answer is yes. You know, you'll have the ability to upgrade at that point, because obviously, unless you've upgraded to, I mean, well, it wouldn't even matter. I mean, I don't know anybody that come in at $20 and instantly buy the $2,000 product and then go, okay, I think I want the rest, you know, rather than spending the $9.97. So even if you got the first 3 products and you spent $140, it would still make more sense to buy the $9.97 for the rest of the program all in forever.
Okay.
James, go ahead.
Jeff, so if I understood this all correctly, the 997, so basically one is saving themselves all the monthly overhead, if you will, of all the other products by just going 997, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So actually,
on top of the fact, if you add up all the products, if somebody bought everything today, it'd be a little over $5,000.
Wow.
And then they'd have the $100, dollars a month. So the $100, $129 a month adds up to about $1,500 for the year. So $1,500 plus the $5,000. So you're saving that times however many years you're involved or however long you use it. I've been basically doing events for how long that you know of?
12 plus years.
Now, at these different events, we're going to have speaking. What if somebody comes in and they get these programs and they start selling a lot of the 129? Does anybody here have a goal to become a trainer, speaker, coach? Guess who's going to be speaking at these events? The people who have resold it. The live events, so they'll be virtual, but we're also going to do live events. The live events will have a live ticket price. The live ticket money is going to be available to the speakers. That's what I'm using the money for. Paid speakers. So you're able to draw a bigger crowd. You deserve the bigger portion of the money, right? So people will want to go through this, and I know what's going to happen is people will want to go through it again. Great. You can jump online. Once you bought the product, you can go back through it again and again and again every time we do it once a year. But if you want to come live, you'd obviously buy that ticket. But if you're one of the biggest producers and you want to come live and you're the speaker, well, now you're getting paid, which was the intention initially with the school that I was building with Bess, is to build people up and then have them come back and speak and pay them.
What if we're not a good speaker?
Well, here's the thing with our program. If I know that you've been able to bring X number of people into the program, you would have become a good speaker in the process. And most of it's just interview style, right? Let me bring on somebody who's been with our company for a year or 12 months or 18 months, who's done this. And they started out as brand new, and here's how they got started, and here's where they're from, and here's they're involved in network marketing, and here's what they saw with the program. Now, let me ask you, where did you grow up? Where are you from? How did you get involved in network marketing? What appealed? Was it the money? Was it the mission? Was it helping people? Was it, travel? Was it freedom? And then what's your background? You know, had you been in business before? What appealed to you about this more than, you know, traditional business? Right? It can be more of an interview style, and that makes it really easy. Once you get good at doing that, there is a format. For those of you who don't know, if you listen to enough network marketing events, there's actually a format the best people follow. And if those of you who know Pete Vargas, the network marketers were doing that for years. What Pete Vargas did is he just took all these different things and said, the people who are the most effective do it in this order. And then he started selling people that order and teaching them how to do it. Good stuff. Anything else?
Well, I would love to understand how to present each one of these. I guess I might have to do the recordings because I definitely see so much value in this. And I do think what you say is true, because it's true for me that because you're more attainable, I feel like you're more in my reach. It's easier for me to feel like I'll be successful if I follow you versus paying a lot of money to the GoPro or to really expensive coaching. You know, I don't feel like they're in my reach, and I feel like it'll just be a waste of my money. So somehow it works for me. Okay. And I feel like it'll work for a lot of other people too, because they feel that in the same way. So I'm making a comment, but I'm also saying that I feel like I want to sell this because I see the value in it. I also want to get help in knowing how to say it or knowing how to present it. So each individual one of them, there's each individual certifications.
Awesome. Well, I know, Estefina, you've already texted me. For everybody else, you know, if the all-in isn't what you want to do, if it's out of reach, you know, whatever the situation is, no problem. Text me back and tell me what you are interested in, which product kind of appeals to you the most. I would really like to know that. I could go through each person and unmute and just kind of get, you know, what is your takeaway out of this? But I don't want to take up the rest of the afternoon. It's Saturday. It's the first of the year. I know a lot of people are recovering from yesterday and maybe all of last year and need to get back on it. I haven't eaten yet today, so I think it'd be a good idea for me to stop at this point and go do that before I become delirious and start talking about stuff that has nothing to do with coaching or training. But I just appreciate everybody who jumped on, who heard this out, who know what we're doing. Again, I will be sending the link the moment it's live, and you have the ability to sign up for any of the products, because obviously you have to, you know, fill out something to, you know, be involved. If this helps, great. If it doesn't, you know, please get it in front of or send it to somebody who needs it. I will, obviously this has been recorded, so I will take this recording and put this online, so you do have the ability to turn around and use it. And as soon as it's live, I'll send it to every person who jumped on. Does that work? Any final things? Any final thoughts? Anybody need anything?
No, I messaged you on Facebook.
Okay, perfect. I'll get that. All right, guys. I appreciate everybody.
I did too.
Thanks.
I messaged you as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
One final question.
Go ahead.
Brandy was going to share her viral video numbers.
Oh yeah, I'll let her do that.
Oh, I have a question.
You'll have to excuse me if my voice is leaving. I had to step away a couple of times. My throat's been a little sore, so if I'm raspy, I'll do my best with talking, but if I lose it, that's what's going on. It's not my microphone, it's me. So that viral video is now up to 4.5 million. I did a branch off video of that, and it's over 5,000 views now, and I'm at 5,655 people who are following, anywhere between 300 to 1,000 people following it a day now. So it just keeps going. So that's where I'm at with that at the moment, and then it's just keeps going. And like, I'll have anywhere between 100 to 500 comments a day. So it's really moving.
I have a question with that.
Yeah.
What is it about too?
It's just me reacting to this one So some of you online have seen me and Jeff do these decorative walls with wood. It was just a reaction video. Like my TikTok is mainly around real estate and like real estate renovation, like people tearing apart these old houses and redoing them. So there's a couple of times where I've done information pieces, but then I did a reaction video to just somebody making this wall. And that's what blew up because it was entertaining and people loved it. And it's funny because people either loved it or absolutely hated it, which either one, I'm just like, keep the comments coming. I'm like, I don't care if you like it or not, but keep
So
the comments coming.
Has this generated any income for you?
It's not
yet, because I mean, it's not attached yet because I'm actually taking my real estate exam to become a realtor on the 4th. What day is that?
Yeah, the 4th.
On the 4th, I'm taking. So it's
Tuesday.
not something
That'd be
yet,
Tuesday.
but what I was doing is I'm creating, since I don't have my license yet, I was creating the audience
Interest.
before I got my license. So that way, once I have my audience, or once I have my license, then it can trickle into, this is what we're doing. These are the properties we're looking for. Here's a renovation project that we're doing right now. And so I'm just getting people's attention right now, and then it's going to transfer over into what we're doing. So it was just something I was getting ready to, getting the audience ready for, so then I could take it over. But you know what's funny is all the stuff that Jeff's going to be teaching in these products are what I applied there. Now, I've also done this with our holistic health company. I've done this in direct sales, and you can apply it in multiple areas, which is why we wanted to have this so generic. You can apply it to network marketing. You can use it in real estate. You can use it in the beauty industry. You can apply it to multiple different areas. And that's also another reason why I wanted to do that way, is to show people it can be applied everywhere else. But my biggest thing with that account was just to get the audience. So then once I can flip the switch, I already got all the eyes on me.
That's
But
brilliant.
I also had to learn how to do the process first before I applied it online. So all of the phone calls with doing presentations, showing people in the recruiting and doing all the events, I had to learn how to do all that first before I could take it online.
Awesome. Well, guys,
You did say this was recorded?
Yes. Yeah, you can contact either one of us. We have all this done, all this recorded, and just so that way we don't take up everybody else's afternoon. Obviously, they can jump off if they want. We'll be around. We're just going to grab some food, and then I'll be downloading this, putting it on YouTube, getting it to everybody. And I am going to create individual videos and a PDF of this, so that way you can send it out to people. Obviously, once we have the material, the videos done for each one of the events, we'll be able to splice it and create a highlights video and be like, look, this is what it is. This is what we do. This is what we went over. And then you'll have the testimonials at the end. I mean, all of you guys have seen the infomercial stuff. That's what we'll produce. And then you'll have that video to put out there. But initially, Monday night, this is going to go. So I'll get the link to everybody for the 10 key fundamentals. Monday night, we launch off at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It'll be the introduction to the whole program, who I learned all this from, and what we're going to go over.
Alrighty, sounds good.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.